Hello, everybody, and welcome back into 7 Years From Now. This is going to be part 2 of the after story. I think there's going to be one more part after this. And in that grand finale episode, I'm going to make it pretty long, close to an hour, probably, with the rest of, or it could be even over an hour. I don't know. But we do 5 episodes per thing, and I think the last episode of the after story is like 28 minutes alone. So, yeah, we're going to have a pretty long episode in the finale. Anyway, here we go. We're doing parts 6 to 10 this episode on the side story. So let's get straight back into it, shall we? Here we go. That sums up everything I know about time leaping. I guess there really isn't anything we can use to help Haruto. My father was very meticulous in destroying everything related to time leaping. I see. But my father isn't perfect, so there should still be a possibility. Yeah, we'll find a way. We'll research as much as we can, and if we still have no clue, we'll start again by leaping back. Trial and error, again and again. After all, you seem to have time on your side. Yeah, what Kodama is saying would be our strategy. But Aoi would need to pick a deadline before you have to leap back. I would like to make that deadline 10 days. Huh? Isn't that a bit too short? I mean, after spending 7 years, you're only going to give her 10 days? Honestly, I'd like to make it shorter. There are already too many people who know about time leaping in this world. And from what we know through their example, history does seem to be more inevitable as time passes. For example, Kodama, if you were to get into an accident and die, what would happen? We'd have to think of a way to save not only Haruto, but you too. Me? Well, if I die, you can just leave me. I'm totally fine with that. Well, I guess we have no choice. 10 days, huh? Alright then. So what's being shown here is Aoi went through the same thing as Haruto. They're going back in time, constantly. They have been trying to get back to each other for over 7 years. This is what they're telling us. It's sad, but it's also... What's the word for it? It's very cute. What's the word that you... Never-ending love. It's never-ending love, basically. They won't stop. They'll keep going. You've been here a couple of times already, right? I wonder how many times I've been here with you. I don't remember for sure, but probably a couple of times. That's pretty imprecise. From the way you said it, sounds like you've been here without me as well. Yep, I come here every time. I see, but why? Please have a look at the notebook inside the drawer. This? There are cuts in the pages, right? Each time I leap back, I only manage to leave a cut before I lose my memories. It's to make sure I don't forget the number of times I've leaped after 7 years. I see. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14, 15 times. Repeating 7 years for 15 times. That's more than 100 years. I'm sorry. There's nothing for you to apologize for. But you know, you're a lot more experienced than me if you think of it like this. Haha, I guess I am. But you've jumped back so many times and we still have no clue, huh? No matter how many times you go back, Karuto dies. An unavoidable fate. Yeah. Well, I'll help you out no matter how many times you need me to. If you ever find me, or a me who doesn't cooperate, you can punch him. I give you permission. Haha, thank you, Mr. Kodama. Oh, wait. You know what? Maybe I should just drink some bleach or something. I mean, it's not like I'm going to die in the next 10 days. Oh, wait! That might lead to someone else being saved. Yeah, we have no idea what will happen, so that will be the last resort. But it's really dangerous, so let's leave it till the very end. Yeah, I don't really want a painful ending. And I don't really know anybody who has died recently anyway. Wait. Hey, your friend, what was their name? Wasn't there somebody who dies? Not this time, but in another time. Um, you mean Saki? Yeah, her. She's doing fine now, right? Now that you mention it, each time when I jump back for the third time, But she's fine now. So why did she... Okay, let's look into that. Oh, well that's the third time, and I only get my memory back in the fifth time, so even if you say so. Right, I see. But there's definitely nothing wrong with that Saki girl right now, right? Yeah, I'm sure. Then in that third time, someone must have been saved when Saki dies. Saved? I guess you could look at it like that in long term. Or perhaps Saki didn't die at all. What do you mean? Well, it's not something we can rule out in case of this hospital. To say that someone died of an illness, even if they are alive. I guess it's not unrealistic for this hospital. Well, no use talking about it here. Let's ask Dr. Chiki about it. Okay. And so we came to ask you about it. Does it ring any bells? Even if you ask me that, what about telling the world that someone died, but all they did was wipe their memories? Wiping their memories, perhaps, but to fake a death. I mean, isn't that my situation 7 years ago? There aren't any others? Probably not. I see. Wait. I recall hearing my father talking to somebody about that a long time ago. Then it must be the same for Saki. But Mr. Kodoma, Dr. Chiki's father is no longer with us. Then Dr. Chiki must have done it instead. That's, well, possible. Dr. Chiki, do you remember any details about that? It was a bit before my father died. I just got home and I heard him talking about something like that with someone. But it wasn't really a rare topic of conversation at my house, so. 7 years ago with Dr. Chiki's father. Wait! Mr. Kodoma, please give that to me. Huh? Dr. Chiki, was it this man in this picture? Huh? Oh, right, yeah, that's him. Huh? Who's that? That's Haruto's father. Ioi's World, Part 3, Chapter 6, End. Damn it, I can't find anything. Mr. Tatichi definitely wasn't killed 7 years ago. But now maybe he has already. I see. Yep, we're out of time this time. But I won't give up. Ioi, ask for my help again next time, alright? Okay, I will. So these are all the times that they've gone back and forth with the experiment, etc. So this is... Yeah, I'm sure. This is the document Mr. Tatichi left behind. I thought that he must have left something behind, so I looked everywhere and finally found this. But Mr. Tatichi is no longer... I see. So Haruto's father has already... If only I knew earlier. I would have. No. He didn't even tell me about his son Haruto. So there would have been nothing I could have done. Mr. Kodoma. I wonder why he didn't invite me at that time. Mr. Tatichi, if he at least told me. He probably didn't want to get you involved in this mess. I only met him once, when he gave me the camera, but I'm sure that is the reason. Okay. I feel better after what you said. Huh? Dr. Chicky, let's just start to read through the documents. Alright. This might take a bit of time, but let's get started. Then could I borrow the restroom first? Sure. Thank you. Are you sure you got over it? It seemed like you really worshipped Haruto's father. Hey, Dr. Chicky? Do you know how many times it's been for Ioi? I heard it was around 100. She wasn't clear on the exact number. Dr. Chicky, think about 7 years. 7 bloody years. It's easy for us to ask her to return each time, but it's long. She forgets the 7 years, remembers, then grieves, then forgets the 7 years again. And it's an endless loop of that cycle. Dr. Chicky, how do you think she feels every time she's about to leap back 7 years? I was thinking how strong she is, and I want to support her. Yeah, Ioi is. But I was wrong. When I went to the basement, she was crying. Behind our back, she kept crying for Haruto. Mr. Tatichi was probably thinking about Haruto when he did what he did. I'll make sure I carry on his wishes. Dr. Ichiki, as long as she doesn't give up, we have to support her. To the very end. I agree. Yeah. Us from next time won't know about this, though. That's true. Haha. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Alright then, let's read the document. Yeah. Dr. Ichiki? Is everything okay? Yeah. Sorry. It's just a crazy thing that I was bewildered. You did mention something about your father. Do you mean... Yes, my father appears a lot in this file. Huh? Dr. Ichiki's father? There is a transcript of a conversation in here. It's between my father and Haruto's father. Haruto's father and Dr. Ichiki's father? And in here it's written that my father said this is to Haruto's father. What do you think? Don't you want to try causing the resonance? Resonance? Isn't that the cause of... Yes, in my understanding, resonance was the cause of LMD. But the way they refer to it seems a little different. What do you mean? It seems like resonance is the ace card that my father and Kikasui's father had. In other words, a method to cancel out all the time leaps of the past. Ioi's World, Part 4, end of Chapter 7. Sorry, let me confirm. You found the files that my father left behind, right? How did it lead to the whole canceling all time leaps thing? And what's resonance? Haruto, it's just a theory that's been raised. We aren't sure of the method yet. But just the theory itself is impressive enough. Yeah. So this resonance, I think Dr. Chicky was talking about it. Is the reason for LMD, right? Your father's documents also mention the resonance. This is originally the story from Dr. Chicky's father, but when they conducted the time leap experiment long before we were born. Once one of the test subjects claimed that he caught a glimpse of another person's future, and when following experiments resulted in the same thing, the hospital decided to research it. And they called this phenomenon resonance. That's what's written here, but there's nothing written about the causes and the results. The only thing here is the personal observations of my father. I'll read them anyway. A Kitsu carnation has the qualities to blur the boundaries between people. Its ability to share things meant it was often used in binding ceremonies by the locals. A researcher who found out about it decided to see if it can be used to control people's memories. And this was how the research began in the first place. But that was not all. Certain Akitsu carnations had the ability to affect the concept of time. My research was to remove memories by connecting that of individuals. Meanwhile, What the special Akitsu carnation could do was to connect memories of the individual between different timelines. And this is what we currently call time leaping. I'll continue. But there was a burning question in my mind. What will happen if we were to connect memories with another person while being connected to ourselves from the future? If we were to receive a flood of information from the future, wouldn't this cause an overload and become passed off to the other individual? And that is what my father believes to be the identity of resonance. The resonance. Is it possible to send memories to anyone whenever they want? No. It still has to be between people who took the medicine and only in a certain time. And it can be only between people who are connected. But the research for resonance was put to a stop since they deemed it too dangerous. They also eventually found the natural cause for resonances and dealt with it. And so everything looked like it was solved, but it wasn't the case. One by one, everyone who experienced resonance fell to a strange disease. Which is LMD. And after that, they completed stopping research about resonance. I see. But the cause or the method for resonance is still unknown. Yeah, there's nothing written about it at all. And even if there were any clues, we don't have any of special Akitsu carnations. Right. But the fact that we don't know means that there is a possibility, right? Yeah, but we really don't know much about resonance at all. Dr. Ichiki's father said that those who experience resonance are those who are swimming in endless memories. But I didn't really understand what he meant by that. Dr. Ichiki said that apparently the requirements themselves are satisfied. Like Dr. Ichiki's father, Dr. Ichiki and I are all connected, right? And I've been time leaping many times as well, so... Many times. Wait, but how does that lead to being able to cancel out all the time leaps? Now, that's actually a different story. Director Kikasui and Dr. Ichiki's father were at the forefront of the research, but they were aware of how dangerous the research was, so when they were young, they planned to burn all the Akitsu carnations. They controlled all the supply for the special ones. They probably trimmed those at the old well just to be sure. So if they were to burn their stash, no one would be able to time leap anymore, right? I see. And not only that, in the case that time leaping technology was misused, they had a plan to cancel everything. So both of them took the medicine to allow them to go back to the past. But due to a certain incident, Dr. Chiki's father stopped trusting the director. And so he began to think of other ways to send memories back to his past self. I see. So that's what they meant by resonance. Yeah. And due to that incident, Dr. Chiki's father had to take the medicine again. So he lost the time-leaping nerve tract that he had prepared. Therefore, he only had resonance to rely on. Okay. But then why didn't Dr. Chiki's father go with his plan? That would have something to do with the incident I said before. Incident? Dr. Chiki's father tried to save a child. That child had a heart condition like you and was awaiting heart surgery with a 50% chance of success. So Dr. Chiki's father took the medicine in case the surgery failed. And I think that was when he had a change of heart. I see. But why was that incident mentioned in my father's documents? Isn't that something you heard from Dr. Chiki's father? That's Ioi? Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. You guys have found out so much. Say, if you're able to, find some more files and let Dr. Chiki make a medicine enabling resonance. Not just me. Everything, including LMD, can be solved. Because everything would be canceled out and... Oh. But I see. If the LMD disease itself never existed, Kikyu, Hanukkah, and you would have never been in the hospital, so we wouldn't have been friends. But I'm sure we'll be fine. Just like how you and I met again. I'm sure we can still meet all the others, even without LMD. A world without LMD and time leaping is a much better world. Hey, Haruto. I told you that Dr. Chiki's father saved the child, right? Huh? Yeah? That child was your mother. Huh? So, if we were to succeed and cancel out everything, Haruto, you wouldn't be born into this world. Where it all began. Chapter 9. End. Sorry about that, guys. That was actually episode 8. Here's episode 9. Here we go. My mother? Yeah. She was the daughter of Dr. Chiki's father's cousin. So she was Dr. Chiki's second cousin. And she is the girl Dr. Chiki's father saved. So if we cancel all time leaping, then before you were born, your mother would have... Haruto. I see. We really were relatives. Oh, with Dr. Chiki? Yeah. That's what Dr. Chiki said to Mr. Kodama. He said I was the son of a relative. I thought it was just a lie he came up with to hide our relationship. But I think Dr. Chiki didn't actually know. Oh, so it was just a lie? But it ended up being real, huh? What do we call this again? Many a true word is spoken in jest? Yeah. I see. Now I know. So, are you looking for a way other than resonance for me? Yeah. Hey, you know, if you didn't exist, everybody will feel a bit different, right? I'll be sad too. And we still don't know how resonance works anyway. So I shall look for another way to save you. Hee hee, you should thank me, you know. I owe it. Alright, I have to take the vaccine. This is probably the longest we've spoken. Alright then, I should get... Aoi, it's fine. It's fine, you have done enough. If I was in your shoes, I'd probably do the same as you, but... You don't have to do so much for me anymore. You don't have to find a way to save me, but you should work on the... What are you saying? Are you trying to act tough, like you did 7 years ago when you heard your dad died? I don't want to hear anything like that. Aoi, I'm not doing this for the sake of anyone. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I want to. 7 years from now, I'm going to meet you again at the well, and we'll laugh together. We promised. Honestly, I was scared. And the world 7 years from now, the world without you. I was worried that maybe you wouldn't come. But you did. The same thing for me. I mean, it was all reversed, but you pressed the button to save me. And because of your heart, I was able to live. Maybe you got to live because of me, but it's okay now. You saved me, and I also got to save you. That's more than enough. So now you don't have to. No, that's not true. Hey, Rudo, why aren't you saved even though we both take the vaccine? That's because I pressed the button first during the original experiment. Exactly. You were the first to press the button. When I was too scared to do anything, you were the one who saved me. And it's because of me that you can't be saved. No, it's not. It doesn't matter who pressed it first. You saved me too. If you didn't save me, I wouldn't have lived for the next 7 years. You've already done so much. Haruto, between parents and siblings, do you know which pairing is better for organ transplants? Huh? I don't know, but maybe siblings? Yep. But even then, it's not a perfect match. Even between siblings, there is an absolute chance for rejection, although there's one exception. So normally, even after the transplant, you have to continue going to the hospital to receive immunosuppressants. A perfect match for transplant between people with no blood relations is nothing short of a miracle. It'll be incredible if we were like that. But do you think that's really the case? What do you mean? Are you saying that you and I are not strangers, but siblings? Or twins? Yeah, I thought of that, but that's not true. Because I did take those immunosuppressants. I went to the hospital all the time, every month for 7 years. So I knew about the lung transplant as well. Hey, Haruto, why didn't you know? Huh? Wait a minute. What do you mean? You knew about it? Yeah. Then that means the heart transplant surgery from you was. But no, my parents and Dr. Chicky said, and there are surgical records too. Dr. Chicky is not a specialist. If he was shown surgical records from another doctor, he'd trust them. Same with mom and dad. Haruto, you never had a heart condition in the first place. So the heart transplant itself was a lie. Do you understand now? Did I save you? No. I was the only one who was being saved. Did you and I save each other? No. It was just me being saved. All this time, I was the one saved by you. I never saved you. It was always just me. Taking everything for granted. So, this time, I will be the one to save you. And that's the end of chapter 9. We're about to start chapter 10 and then end this episode. I see. Even if you figure out the method for resonance, you won't use it, huh? Well, if that's the story with Naruto, I guess it can't be helped. Yes. Are you okay? You don't look so well. I'm okay. Anyway, Dr. Chicken, we only have 10 days, so let's hurry. Yeah. I'll take my leave. Aioi, I was thinking. I should tell you the date. The date? The date of when we should send the memories to my father. In that case, we find the method for resonance. What's wrong? It's just that it's been quite a while since I've heard you say this in regards to this subject. Well, even if you have no intention of using it, it won't hurt to know the date. Anyway, this date is an important date that your father used to always mention, right? But when you try to say the exact date, you kind of forget it. So you take a deep breath. Then you tell me that you have the date written down back in the clinic. I'm sorry. It's been a while, but I've already heard it a few times, so... No, it's fine. I'm just surprised is all. Do I always follow you here? No, it's actually quite rare for you to follow me like this. You usually don't leave your clinic, so... But recently I feel like you've been leaving your clinic more frequently. That's probably because I was worried about how you looked. Anyway, Aioi, how many times has it even been? You'll find out in this room. But please, wait a moment. Whenever you enter, there is a bit of a wind. So I shall open the drawer. Oh, guys, you're about to see how sad this is. How sad, but true love it is. Okay, this is it. Are these pieces of paper? Dr. Ochiki, it's the 17th, 711th time. The 17,711th time to relive these 7 years. Right. I should leave a mark to not forget. I found a smart way to do this. These cuts will be the first digit. The second digit is Alright, now I can rip the rest of them up. Rip it all up. There's a lot. I wonder if I've weeped more times than all these paper. I probably have. So that now was how ripped up the paper became. I haven't really counted the number, but Ioe. Dr. Chicky, about what you said before, you don't have to tell me the date. I've already failed 17,710 times. So this will be my 17,711th. That's... Ioe, you don't... But I won't give up. I can't give up. Because I haven't given back anything to him yet. But he has given so much. So even if I fail another 1,000,000 times, I will not give up. It feels like a long time ago. And so much time has passed to the point that I can barely remember. But I have to return Haruto. Everything he did for me that day. So I will do it as many times as I have to. Until we can meet again on our promised day. Ioe's World. The end. That was episode 10 of the After Story. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was part 6 to 10. Next episode should be the finale, I'm pretty sure. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.